This is a podcast of hope. The dogs of doom are howling more. How is it going? No Quarter Podcast is coming at you. I'm No25andrew. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you have anything to say, if you'd like to. How are you guys doing this evening? I'm having a good evening. My dog's freaking out in the other room because I'm in here talking to myself. I wanted to get some thoughts down, some thoughts recorded on the evolutionary chain I'm on called life. Essentially, this is another journal entry I want to do, I guess, to help myself see and go back and look back at all these interesting and far out times in my life. I just had a buddy text me today about something I uploaded 6 years ago. We weren't even doing anything fun. We were just biking and longboarding around town. So my buddy dressed up for it. He wrapped himself up like a blunt and just a bunch of fucking butcher paper, some brown butcher paper. I helped to wrap him up in it, and then we went longboarding, and then we just filmed it. And I put it up online, and he hit me up today. He's like, "Hey, dude, that stuff's online still." I'm like, "Yeah, it's the internet." And I told him to YouTube it. It's still up. I don't think it's anything negative or incriminating, or that's the first thing people think of when they hear, "Oh, I put it online." Everything online is negative and incriminating. I definitely don't want to talk or do anything about that negative or incriminating aspect of online culture. So I do want to just try to make everything that this podcast, everything that I say on this recording is positive, it's optimistic, there's nothing negative. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, essentially walking on eggshells here. Just want to make a nice positive podcast that you can fill 15 minutes of your life. Check out my Fishtanks, listen to some positive good vibes. Essentially, I just want to send some good vibes out there, help you find yourself. That's essentially what the podcast is going to be. Want it to be positive. I don't want to really identify myself too much, but I will share everything I know about me. You guys can have everything but my social security number and my address, so I feel like that's okay. I'll tell you a bunch of stories. I don't want to get any. I'll tell you stories about me, but that's one of them. Is I love biking around town and I love filming. I have tons and tons of recordings of just like my childhood friends and I just fucking around, drinking beers and getting high and just having a good time. Essentially, there's shit that happens in our lives, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's cool. Let's talk about it and record it." Essentially, is what I liked doing, and that by doing this podcast has allowed me to freaking keep doing that. So I want to keep doing it. It seems fun. It does seem really, really crazy. I'm trying to get myself in this mindset of doing it every. Try to make it a constant thing. Do it regularly. I don't know about daily. It might be as daily as the Daily Show. It's a 4-minute daily. I think that might be a good way to go about it. But it's going to be positive. It's not going to be too specific. And I just want to have fun, interesting conversations. So enough about the goddamn podcast and the goddamn fucking shit I post online. This is going online no matter what. And what I want to talk about in this podcast is my idea about going forward with the skills that I have, the mentality I have, and the passion I have in life. The skills, the passion, the ideas I have all kind of accumulated into this idea of building myself a system where I could allow people to come use the system that I maintain and have built myself. So I know everything about it and I know how it's going, and then people will come and use the system, help me get some monetary gain from it. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to get rich. I just want to sustain and build a sustainable system. Essentially, it's all about sustaining who I am, what I'm doing. I want to be able to feed myself. I want to be able to keep myself warm at night, and I think it'd be really cool using my brain to try to do that. I want to start my own business. I want to start building these isolation tank systems. If I could build myself a system and have people come and use that system on a daily basis and then build up a regular clientele like I know businesses do, I think I could actually turn a profit, essentially. I think I could totally make something happen. I know it sounds crazy. I know I have all these doubts in my head. I don't really want to listen to anybody about them. I think if I just go forward and do it myself and don't really ask anyone else's opinion or ask the opinions of people I don't think about, or I'm really afraid of being turned off by this idea, but I really want to go forward. People talk people out of shit all the time, so I do not want to let the bastards grind me down. I do not want people to fucking say, "Oh, that's stupid, man. Why are you doing that? That's never going to work." I'm terrified of that. So I think if I can just kind of build enough confidence in myself and go forward with this idea, I'll be able to overcome a lot of those adversities and keep the idea alive, keep the system going, and start a business. That'd be my ultimate goal, is to start this and go big, not big, but go enough with it. I don't even want to go big. I just want to go enough. And I'm tired of doing typical occupations where I don't get anything back from it. I get money. That's all I get. And that's all we are. It seems to be is money. What are you? You're your bank account, and I don't like that. It's very, very narrow, and I got way too far into perspectives to see something that narrow. So I want to try to incorporate that perspective with my own perspective and call it the reality, essentially. But it's terrifying. I'm so scared to go forward with it. I do have a lot of ideas, a lot of potential, a lot of what if I do this, it could. What if it could? And just thinking about that it's stimulating, and it helps me feel optimistic, but at the same time it's hard not to feel pessimistic about it, because once you look at established businesses, it's like, oh, I'm going to open up a hot dog stand and call it McDonald's. Oh, wait, I can't sell hot dogs and call it McDonald's? Why not? Oh, I can't. That's just the thing. I can't, because there's already a McDonald's selling hamburgers, stupid. But I don't want it to be I can't. Like I said, I want this podcast to be I can. So what I have been doing is I have been compiling plans and ideas about how I will go forward with essentially my business plan. I haven't written a business plan, but I've written cool ideas that I want to do. So I'll read you some of those ideas they have here about No25andrews. I guess I'm going to incorporate them all together because I want to build this image, this icon, the no quarter commercial isolation tank setups. Float your way to euphoria. Through multiple sessions, you gain a very unique experience that affects each person differently. The experience of a gravity-free, lightless, soundless environment where the boundary between water and air disappears and your body dissolves away. It sounds really interesting. It sounds like possible. Here, I'll say to experience a lightless, soundless environment where you can literally float on salt water at skin temperature. Lightless, soundless, where you are floating, so you will have no light, no sound, no body. Sensory deprivation. It's an alternative medicine of modern day, and I want to get in on it. I don't know how. I think I could get some more people to hang out with me. I don't know if I want anybody else to know about all of this, because I'm kind of terrified to tell anybody, but I guess I'm uploading it to the internet, so we'll see what happens. And I think this will help me. I'm going to make it positive. I want to do something good. So if you have any, they say it helps with pain, they say it helps with relaxation, it helps with meditation, it helps with stress, helps with anxiety, it helps with the aches and pains of everyday life, because you're literally floating in salt, and the salt is really good for your body. So I'm thinking if I could build this idea and do it and flip it around and turn it into maybe just a small home business. But if you come over, I have ideas for tanks. I have, and like you see, I'm already a water guy. I love aquariums, so it's just a kind of a step up from an aquarium system to a human sensory deprivation system. It sounds really cool saying it. I don't know how I keep doing it. I'm terrified. Like I said, I'm so scared to move forward because everyone's going to laugh at me. They're going to say I can't, but I'm going to try to I'm going to try to be strong and try to go forth with this idea. And I had essentially a really positive experience thinking about this, and I know it's something that I could do. I know it's something that's possible because I've seen it before. I just don't know if that's the fit for me, and I guess I'll never know unless I try. So I'm gonna try. It's hard, but I'm gonna try. I have an idea of building these tanks. I'll build them. I will use repurposed materials to insulate them, to heat them, to isolate them, and to make them a very soundless, lightless environment. I think it would be pretty cost effective. I could build more than one. I would have to store them somewhere. I think I'd have maybe room if I really wanted to, 2 or 3 in my house if I really, really wanted to, but I don't know. I would love to get a place where I could store them, maintain them, keep them flowing, and then keep it open, and then just essentially go forward with it. I am, like I said, I'm still scared. I have all these doubts, but I think this is what I want to do. It's not, I know I didn't want to do anything typical, and this is definitely not typical. Excuse me. So it's personal enough, it's unique enough that it would be my own. It would be my own thing. So I have to keep the light burning on that idea of making shit fucking go. If I can make it go, then nothing's gonna stop me. I think, because I have all these ideas, and like all throughout my childhood, where I'm like, oh, Andrew, you like kind of hip to it before it got good. Like I'm the original hipster. Fucking dork. I know that sounds stupid saying that, but like the idea of, oh, I got into this band and then everybody's into that band. I'm like, oh, I already got into it and got out of it like 3 months ago, and now you guys are now all into it. I'm like, okay, cool. I like it too. Let's listen to it. But I was like 3 months early. I was like, oh, so I'm wondering if I'm 3 months early with this. Oh, I hope it's not just 3 months. I really have that feeling though, where I kind of tapped into something before anybody else. And I've had that before, mostly with music, and then there were like certain, like I want to say BMX didn't get really big, or those kind of bikes weren't as big until I really got into it, or I don't know. I've had that mostly with music. I can't really think of anything else now where I've felt that way about certain things. It's like, oh, this is going to be huge. That virtual reality. Here's another one, that Oculus Rift. I know that shit's going to be huge. I've never done it. It's going to be huge. So I think that's the way it's heading, and if I go with my gut and go with my instincts, that's what it's telling me to do. I had a vision, and that's what it told me. That's one idea. That's the isolation tank dream business that I want to build on my own. I have ideas on how I want to start it, all the specifics, but I just wanted to get kind of this broad idea and thrown out online, see if anybody has any ideas about it. If you want to hit me up, No25andrew@gmail.com with any ideas, questions, concerns. Please subscribe. Please send me a what's up, comment, like, thumbs up. I'll throw my 3 and 3 before I go. I have a lot of thankfuls to do. I want to be super thankful for my family today, super thankful for being alive, super thankful that it is my 25th birthday. 25 times around the sun today. I feel old. I feel really, really old. And I still feel optimistic, so when it stops feeling optimistic, I will stop putting these out. But I still feel optimistic, so my time's almost out. Joe Rogan says I'm going to turn into a pumpkin, so this is it. Talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening. See ya. No Quarter Podcast. Out.